Ciao Bella! Welcome everyone. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. This is another summer streaming event for the summer of 2026. Oh, let me pull it up on my phone while I'm sitting here. What's everyone up to today? How's everyone doing? Turn my volume down so I don't hear myself. Channel. There we go. All right. It's running on my phone. So, new place, right? I'm in a new area for a little while, and just thought I'd catch up with you guys and see how it's going, see what you've been up to for the past week. I have been traveling, obviously, and I welcome in Kay. Let me turn that down just a little bit more. Oh, not all the way. There we go. And I've been struggling with a migraine today, so it's been a little difficult. I spent most of the morning, welcome in Perp, on the couch with ice on my head, taking some medicine, that kind of thing. Still not 100%, but I'm better. So I was afraid I was going to have to cancel today because I was not okay, but I'm doing better. I have a couple of things to show you, and just wanted to see how everything's going. How's everyone doing? Welcome in, Ellie. Nice to see you. So, what's everyone working on? How's everybody doing? I am currently have a little bit. I've started. I'm gonna make another little lovey type blanket, but this is out of Caron Simply Soft Speckle in seashell. So I had 3 of these. I actually got from Antoinette at Hookin' and Stitchin' Island Style, and I was working on them. Oh, okay, awesome. Are you outside, Ellie? But this was in a 3-pack, and I took this with me, and I actually made a blanket out of most of them. So this is 2 3/4 of the yarn. I literally just have this much left. So I was going to make a little lovey blanket as well. But I'm going to mail this off to Christine. Welcome in, Tammy. And I just have to do the ends. I have to weave in the ends. So I have those, and then where all the yarn was attached in different places, I have to put that in. But I just did the Suzette stitch, and then I did a single crochet, border, half double crochet, and then a shell stitch. So that is the blanket. So I have this, the washcloths that I made, and then this little thing that I'm going to finish. I'm just going to use all the rest of this. So whatever's left, I'm going to make it as big as this, right? And then that will be all 3 of these. The other one is upstairs. It'll be all 3 of these that I've done, that I've used. So July has been a whole lot of yarn that I've used this month, between the pick and mix blanket, finishing all the yarn that I had used for that. I finished a ball of the Lagoon, Yarnsmith's Lagoon yarn on the serpent because I had a little bit left from the stag, and I started with that, and so I had finished that. And the 2 Hobie cakes, the festive cake, so much. I added it up before I started using this yarn, and I think it was either right at or a little bit over 4,000 yards of yarn. And that's not even counting these 3 skeins of yarn. So, and I did get another festive cake from the house. So I brought that, and as soon as I finish this, I'm going to work on finishing my cardigan because I have a little bit left to do on that. The edges and the bottom, and then joining it together, and that'll be done. So, oh, what kind of yarn are you going to use for that, Ellie? The only thing about the Simply Soft is if you've never used it, it's so splitty. So there are times, especially when I was doing that baby blanket, that I had to like pull out some stitches and go back because it doesn't matter how careful you are, the yarn just splits so easy. What are you having for lunch, Kay? Third goat. Man, you are cranking those bad boys out. That is, how many more do you have left? I literally have no idea how long this is gonna, how big this is gonna be. I think I made it like 60 stitches. I did a chain of 61, and then I'm just doing the Suzette stitch. Apparently I'm stuck on this stitch for the summer. That's what I've done most of my things in, is the Suzette stitch for some reason. 14 more. Okay. Okay. Are you making them, Ellie, for someone in particular, or just like for a craft fair, or just to make them? Is it a pattern that you are using or something that you've created? Nope, nope, nope. I also brought yarn with me. I found, finally, so I bought some cotton yarn last summer, and I was gonna make like a beach bag tote with it. And I've been trying to look for the perfect pattern, and I finally found one. So I brought that yarn with me. And so I'm gonna finish the cardigan. And then once I finish the cardigan, I'm gonna start on the beach bag. And then my daughter wanted, last summer also, she wanted some like fingerless gloves. And she picked out some purple and black yarn. And then this year she picked out some rainbow and lime green yarn. So I'm gonna try to make both pairs for her so she can alternate, because she will wear them out. So I want to make, welcome in, Jay. I want to make them for her so she doesn't wear one pair out steadily. She can alternate between them. Okay. Craft fair, cool. Oh, Chinese food. Chinese food sounds good. I wonder if that would help my migraine. I wonder if the MSG would help. I don't know. I know it's painful though. I've taken all my meds. I've done all the things that I'm supposed to do, and it still hurts. So I'm hoping that it just goes away soon. Oh, that's split, that's split, that's split. I'm finally gonna get to see my son this weekend, so I'm excited for that. Gonna help him move into his apartment. And his birthday was Monday, but he's still working, so we couldn't really celebrate, but hopefully we'll be able to celebrate this weekend. Are you working on anything in particular, Jay? Just crocheting along. Hopefully, like I said, I can make this a decent size. It seems like I have like a third of this left, and it's, how many yards is it? I don't know, 235 yards. So pretty good chunk. Should make a decent sized Levy blanket. And it's so soft. It really is. Be a nice addition, I think. Ooh, a wedding blanket. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, mine, I mean, I've had migraines all my life, and these are different than the ones this one is, well, I have two different kinds of migraines. Some of them are, they come from the back of my head and they come up over, but this one, there's something that's like back here in my shoulder muscles, right back here. It's pinched. Ever since I hurt my arm when I first moved to Sicily, I've been getting these particular headaches. So something is pinched. It gets pinched there, and then it activates whatever nerve runs through here, and then that radiates up over. So it triggers the same kind of migraine that I've always had, but it starts differently. So I can feel when it's about to start, and I can take my medicine, but the medicine doesn't always help it go away completely. Like it lessens the effect. But for me, the biggest thing is silence, quiet, cold. I literally have to freeze it. So, and there's no place in this house that gets completely dark. There are a lot of windows in this place. So, I've just been, for most of the morning, I was laying on the couch with an ice pack here and then one here because it radiates up over my face. So, it's been pretty bad. A letdown migraine. I haven't been diagnosed with that, but that may be part of it. Because I don't relax. But I haven't had a migraine for a couple of weeks. When was the last? I had a migraine right before school was out. So like right at the end of May. And I haven't had another one until it started last night. And so I took my medicine. And this morning I woke up and it was still there. So I took more medicine, but I can only take 2 every 24 hours. So I can't take any more of my migraine medicine until tonight if it's still hurting. And then I can take like Tylenol and ibuprofen. I alternate between those two because they do help with the pain, even though it doesn't target the migraine. If there's swelling, it does help with that. But I did, there's a lady that comes like once every couple of weeks and helps me with my shoulder. So she will do what's called a gua sha massage. So she takes this like shells tool and she'll work out my arm, because after I hurt my arm, I couldn't raise it. I mean, I could go about this far, and that's as far as I could get it. I couldn't raise my arm above my head. I couldn't do any of that. And so she worked on my arm. And now, I mean, I have full range of motion in my arm now, but just to keep it from freezing up again, she comes and helps me. And I was okay for like, so she did it for a while, and then for like a year and a half, I stopped. And then it started to hurt again, and my migraines got really bad. So I had her come back, and it's been helping. But I wonder if it was triggered by the weather, being back in the States, right? All the changes in pressure and temperature and whatever. I don't know. It could also be food or stress. I don't know, because the food here is different, right? We were traveling for over 24 hours to get here, between layovers and planes and driving. It was a lot. I always say it wrong. It starts with an R. Rizatriptan, something. That's what I take. Yeah. I had hurt my arm. A window had got my arm right here. And I had a huge, like, it was black for like a month right here. Huge bruise. And I went and had x-rays because I wanted to make sure that there wasn't like a fracture in my arm, because the way that window hit my arm, I mean, it banged my arm real hard. But there was nothing fractured or broken, but it was real sore. And I kept trying to move it, but it hurt so much to move it that it eventually got to where it just, I couldn't. But I don't have anything lingering pain, but there's a nerve that gets pinched and I can feel it. And I know, like, once it starts to hurt down there, I take my medicine and that helps. I mean, the migraine always comes, but it helps with the pain. So if I don't take it, if I ignore it, then if I'd ignored it, I would have had to cancel the live, because I wouldn't be here. I would be in bed, or vomiting, because it will get really bad. But I'm okay. I just, stressful. but I'm excited to get this done. I didn't realize, because I did the majority of this on the plane. Yeah, I did the majority of this on the plane, and it just went so fast that I was like, okay, because I was trying to think of things that I could bring with me. And I know that I'm making blankets for my friend, like, because she is doing baby items too. But I figured this would be, since I need to mail stuff to Christine anyway, I figured I could take this with me and make it so there would be another blanket and the other things that I have. So it would be a bigger package to mail off, more items. I mean, having twins, you can never have enough stuff, right? So I figured that would be worth doing. And I almost brought more yarn with me, because I made that blue and green blanket last summer, and I still have the pink with the other green that I was going to make another blanket with. It's still at home, and I thought about bringing it with me too, but between this and the gloves and the cardigan, I figured that would be plenty to keep me busy, because I'm going to have a lot to do with my son when he finishes work and everything. I can't see all of your comment, Tammy. Oh yeah, okay. I had to look at my phone because there's a little symbol down here in StreamYard that blocks some of the comment. Yeah, that does help sometimes. I found this website. Let me pull it up. I have it saved on my phone because it's like this lady who, I haven't tried any of the recipes, to be fair. But she was talking about some migraine stuff. It's called thedizzycook.com. And I saw this recipe for electrolyte popsicles. So if you are suffering from migraines or other things like that, you can use, it's coconut water, ginger, mint, and Himalayan salt. So she also makes watermelon mint ice cubes to help with hydration, because she has a lot of migraines and she wants to give some natural things instead of like Pedialyte and electrolyte packets that have things that other people may be sensitive to. So I came across that and I thought that might be interesting to try, because water, I don't know about everyone who has migraines, but a lot of times food doesn't sound good, and then water is real heavy. But you have to keep your strength up, right? So it's easier to have, for me anyway, to have smaller cold things like a popsicle. And if I can make it an electrolyte popsicle, well, that would be better, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't know how this turned into a migraine talk, but oh well. anybody have any plans coming up this weekend? Anybody have anything going on? The place that we're staying at is relatively quiet, which is nice. But I'm hoping maybe next week we can go to the beach. It's really, really hot here right now. It's like over 100 degrees. And even waking up early, I don't want to be out in that. That's a lot. And I've been getting tired at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that's my bedtime in Italy. It's like 10 o'clock. So I've been getting tired and just wanting to crash. But then I'm up stupid early in the morning because I'm sleeping. And I mean, I don't sleep long, but it's like almost like my body can't stay awake, right? And so then I crash for a couple hours and then I'm up and then I go back to sleep. But then I'm up at like 3 a.m. Crazy. And then just about the time that I'm getting used to being here, I'll go home. And then my body will start the jet lag all over again. Doesn't that sound fun? So I'm hoping also while I'm here that I can do, I mean, I don't need to do any more yarn shopping, but I want to go. I looked up a couple of places that I haven't been to. So I thought about going and checking out those yarn shops. So maybe if I get permission, I might maybe next week do my live from one of those. Or part of it at least, maybe walk through the shop. I don't know. I have to contact them and see. Because maybe I could do part of it from a yarn shop. I don't know. Because there are a couple of places that have opened since I've been around. And while I know that my daughter doesn't want to travel yarn shops with me, but it'd be good to get out. Yeah, I thought about going by Michael's because I also want to see if they have any of those little paintings. That was another thing that I brought with me is my liberal arts melt project for July. I have it. I just haven't started it yet, but I want to see, because I had that little, like that butterfly painting that I did. That was actually kind of fun. And I want to see if they have any more of those. In different options or something similar, because those were really cool. I did enjoy that little paint by numbers thing. So yeah, I might go by Michael's. And I know I missed the Hobby Lobby clearance, which, like I said, I don't need more yarn, but it's always fun to go look, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to get some frames. All those puzzles that I've done. Um, I want to do those multi-picture frames. I want to put the puzzle in one and then pictures from the trip in the other ones. And I have a couple of the multi-picture frames. I want to get a couple more. I can't get them here, obviously, because that would be horrible to try to ship them. Because I know even when my stuff got moved, so many of my pictures were broken. They were not packed properly. I mean, it was just, you would open a box and there'd be glass everywhere. So many of my frames were broken. I mean, and they weren't like expensive frames or anything. I mean, but still. Thankfully, not a lot of my pictures got ruined. It's just the frames. But there were like 3 boxes of pictures I opened. There was just glass everywhere. So I kept the frames if I could keep it because I wanted the integrity of the picture. Like I didn't want them to like get too hot or whatever, stick together if I took them out. But because they weren't very expensive frames, to try and replace the glass wouldn't even be worth it. It would be either way, it would still be expensive whether I just cut glass or I replaced the whole frame because I would get them at like the dollar store. Speaking of which, I went to Dollar Tree and got some things while we were here, like, shampoo and soap and all of that. And they had some nice little craft things. I didn't get any because I figure I had enough to keep me busy. And if I want to go and grab some, I can always go back and grab some. But they had some nice craft things there. Some little like wood crafts. And they didn't have a whole lot of yarn. But then they had like cross stitch, some little tiny cross stitch things. And like this flower arrangement thing. It was weird. It was like kind of a make your own flower arrangement, but it had all these like plastic flowers and you could it had like a little vase, but you could arrange it in different ways. And I mean, it was kind of cool, but I was like, that's interesting to see that at a Dollar Tree. Because I know it's kind of hit or miss with the crafting sections, depending on where you go. Some of them have really good crafting sections and some of them are terrible. So just have to see how that all works out. Because Lord knows I don't need, when we were in the UK, we were on our way back home. I bought another Lego set. I didn't need to buy another Lego set, but I bought one. It was the double-decker bus. The London double-decker bus. It's a small kit, but I still want it. I have so many Lego kits I haven't even put together yet. But I bought that one. So I just added it to the stack. Who knows? Maybe I'll spend some time over some of my holiday breaks doing some of those. And I'm going to have to get a shelf to put all those on. Oh, it's split again. I always wonder how people who do the big Legos Like if they ever have to move, like I know if they're moving just like down the street or whatever, they can put them in their car, but how you pack those things, and I'm always so worried. That's why I don't even, honestly, don't even try to get big sets because I don't want to deal with it. But also, I don't want to, it's a lot to put that all together. Oh, cool. There's an Ollie's not far from me. I might go check that out too. It's not far. Not far at all. The problem is I go into the stores and I'm like, oh, I want this, oh, I want, but then how am I going to get it home? Like we were in the UK and I was going to a yarn shop and there was a sign. Oh, it had bad words on it. I wanted it though. But it was so big and it was made out of wood. So there wasn't any way that I could safely take it apart without ruining the image that was on it. Cause if I could have, I would have taken it apart and put it in my suitcase and taken it home. But there wasn't a way to do that safely where it wouldn't mess up the image. So I had to leave it behind. I did take a picture of it though. I was like, this is definitely, maybe. I know that there are some people who put them in specialized, not glass, but plastic, see-through boxes. And then they pack them that way. That way, if they happen to come apart, at least all the pieces are still in that container. And it's not like a cardboard box where the pieces could fall through. And then I know that there are some people who, because I had a student whose mom was telling me how big he is into Legos and everything, and they had just moved from America to Sicily, and I was like, how do you guys transfer all of those? And she was telling me that there's also some of the Legos where there are strategic places where you can take them apart. So let's just say the Death Star, for example, right? Or the Millennium Falcon. There are strategic places where you can pull them apart and then just put that back together so that you can take it in pieces. So I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that either. And I'm not saying that those two specifically have that. I'm just using them because I know that they're big, really big Lego kits to make. And I think even the Eiffel Tower, the Disney Castle, I think that there are strategic places where you can take them apart, but I don't even want to think about transporting the little ones that I've made. And there's so many pieces. It's oh my goodness. I couldn't even begin to imagine. But I'm sure if they're professional movers, they're used to moving all kinds of things. I mean, I know just the people that were moving my stuff. I mean, when they saw all the yarn that I had, they were like, oh my God, what do you do with all this? I was like, I use it. I crochet with it. I make stuff with it. Welcome in. I thought about bringing, Tay, I thought about bringing the yarn for you here, but I was like, there's already so much stuff in my suitcase that I was like, I didn't really have a whole lot of time to go through things, but I wanted to, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I wanted to take my time and go through and make sure it was all things that you could use, because I didn't want it to be like an accident, like something that you were accidentally allergic to or whatever. So, I mean, I know you're not worried about when you get it, but I thought about like going in and just grabbing it and bringing it with me. But I was like, I want to take my time and make sure that I get things that are useful for you. What do you guys think? Does that seem like a good size? We'll see how big it gets. I need to go find my needles so I can weave in those ends. And maybe tomorrow I can take this stuff, and then there are a couple of things that I got in the UK for my mom. I can take those things and mail them all off so she can have her stuff, and then I can get this stuff mailed to Christine. And that will be the last of my baby stuff, because I mailed the other stuff off to Khadijah before I left the UK. But I guess I've just been a crocheting machine for July. Like I said, before I even used these 3, it was already right around 4,000 yards of yarn just for the month of July. So I'll see what I end up finishing, especially with that cardigan. I don't think I'll finish the other festive cake because I don't have that much more to go for the rounds and for the joining. But I think I'll finish the other 2 Hobie cakes for sure. Yeah, I figured. Because I mean, I could easily grab some acrylic, but I want to make sure that I don't want it to end up accidentally being a blend. Like, I want to take my time and look at the labels and make sure that it's something that would be useful. Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't mind parting with. I just know that with your sensitivities, I don't want it to be accidentally be a blend and cause a reaction, you know? I'd be upset with myself if I did something like that. Speaking of being upset with myself, when I went back home, I went out to a friend's house. We went to her pool, and I messed up my car. Not badly, but I messed up my car. I was driving, and I was trying to, there was a car that was coming in, turning into the road really fast, and I went to swerve over. And you know, the little rubber part, like when you open the door, there's that little rubber runner part. I hit a wall and knocked that off of my car and scraped the side of my car a little bit. So I was upset with myself about that. I was more upset with the other person, but I mean, they didn't hit me, so it wasn't like anything. But now I have to figure out how I'm going to get that fixed. So I'm a little frustrated with myself because that's going to cost money that I didn't want to spend. But I'm not so much worried about the scratches as I am the rubber piece. I need to get that put back on. And one of the parts got like, I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'm going to take it. There's a body shop I can take it to and see what needs to be done. I just don't know how long it will take or how much it will cost. So, yay me. So if any of you there are working on your July liberal arts mal, have you guys started your projects? Do you know what you're going to do? What book are you doing it on? I would love to know. Because you can also put, you know, the book and stuff in the in my community and then in the Facebook group. Oh no. That sucks. That could be dangerous. No worries. You have a deadline on those goats though. Like you have to get those done. So I understand. I've also been doing a lot of reading because when I wake up early in the morning, I end up doing quite a bit of reading. I found these really cool books. They're parallel texts. So the story is in Italian on one side and English on the other. And so I've been reading them. Like I'll read the story in English and then I go back and read it in Italian, and then I kind of do a dual like line by line reading. That's been fun. All right, bye Ellie. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you got the bag done. Maybe you can do them in a lot of colors. I bet. They seem to be really popular. That's awesome though. I'm glad that it's working out so well. It's really cool that you're doing that. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's part of the reason why I like the baby items that I make, not these, right, but the ones that I make for my friend. Like, I mean, I don't charge them for the blankets and the things that they put in the baskets, because I mean, there are some of those families that, I mean, they just don't have a lot, you know, and they're all the way across the world from their families, and you know, it's a difficult time having a baby when you can't have your family around to help out. So to have things like handmade items and things like that, I think is important, you know, and it adds a little bit something extra to the basket. So I don't mind donating them for things like that, you know, because the people in the military give up a lot for their service. Um, like working with them has shown me a lot, you know, and there are different degrees of things that they have to give up in different aspects of their lives in order to do the things that they do and to serve the country the way that they do. Um, so I think being able to give back any way that we can is good, because there's so many different aspects of their lives that are very very different because of their service. And even if they are able to serve close to home, there's still certain things that they have to deal with that you don't realize. Um, and to be able to, you know, just give anything back to them is nice. So that's why because my friend always says, well, do you want me to give you something for the things? Or, you know, like when you guys send things for the baskets, they're like, well, you know, do they want any money for the, and I was like, no, they're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. You know, I mean, a lot of us, when we make things, I mean, we just want to make beautiful things and make people happy, right? But, you know, I think knowing that it's going to a good cause, or knowing that it's going to help people, isn't it, I mean, for me anyway, that's enough payment. You know, if I know that there's a family who needs it or would value it, it's good. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things that they have to do that, unless you're living it, you don't realize it. Yeah, I'm just amazed that you can sit there and make the same pattern over and over and over again. I would get so bored, I'd want to stab myself in the eyeball. 'Cause I mean, I'm doing the stitch over and over and over again, but like I'm varying the number of chains and the height and the all of that. You've made like what, 300 goats, 400? I don't know how many goats you've made. So many goats. Wow. Like you could do that pattern in your sleep. I couldn't do it. That's another reason, like I don't do craft fairs or anything like that, because I could probably make 5 or 6 of something and then I don't want to make it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. couldn't do it. Oh, I also brought the serpent with me so that if by chance you finish chapter 9K, I'm ready. But it was just an off chance thing because I was like, I'll have it with me just in case. Because I know you could sit there in 1 or 2 afternoons and catch up with me real quick. Oh my goodness. 157 goats. That's so many. Oh, I'm running out. So pretty though. So soft. Part of me wants to just keep it, but I can't. I don't have any use for it. It's too small. I do have some of this Karen Sibley Soft though, in this Hawaiian teal color. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but I thought about making a top out of that at some point because it is so pretty. And you know, the Simply Soft is very soft. So I just need to find a pattern that I want to use it for. Yeah, it's got browns and blacks in it. It's a really neat pattern, the way that the flecks work out in it. But yeah, if you were doing like a single crochet stitch, the little flecks would be neat in there. Welcome in, Affordably Crafty. It's good to see you. Yeah, because didn't you have some like lime green ones, Kay? Because you were making some realistic ones and then some really funky ones. I think the picture that you sent me was like lime green. Yeah, it's the speckle. There was another one that I had like this that was had blue. And then there's another one that I have that I think has green. And I got them all from Antoinette at Hook It and Stitch and Island Style. When she did her sale, when she was doing her de-stash, her auction thing, she did all of her bundles. I've used the blue one and now I'm using this one. And I think I still have the green one left I haven't used. Ah, okay. I thought you had sent me some neon looking goats. But this will be a good little last piece, I think. And then I'll be done with all of my baby things. And if you are still interested, like if you're interested in sending anything, if you go to Lady Bird's channel, she does have the information in her Smile Club. You can reach out to her. If you're in Europe, you can send the stuff to her. If you're in the States, you would send it to Christine at Christina's Crocheting. Because they're sending 2 big boxes. So one from here and one from England. That way you would ship it to them and you don't have to send it. like there's not a whole bunch of small packages coming. There's just two big packages. So I think they're sending them, I think she said at the end of August. So if you have any baby items, if anybody that's here has baby items that they want to send, you can reach out to Lady Bird and she can give you all the information. But you know, with somebody having twins, it's a lot of stuff that they're gonna need. I mean, I've had, you know, one baby at a time, and then I know my cousin had twin girls, and I mean, I babysat them a couple times, but even just the amount of diapers and clothing and just everything that you have to have when you have more than one at a time is astronomical. So I know that anything that you could give or make or anything would be appreciated. And you don't have to ship it very far because they'll do a lot of that. Because I don't know how many people are sending things, but I can imagine that it would be pretty costly to send regardless of what's being sent. So does anybody have any projects that they're planning on making for upcoming holidays or gifts or anything? Like even if it's not like Christmas. I know Jay said they were working on a wedding blanket, but does anybody else have anything that they're working on for someone else? Like is somebody's birthday coming up, or is an anniversary something that we're making? Anybody have anything like that they're working on? I know Sam was working on that elephant blanket, which was so stunning. And when I get home, I will be able to do the fairy dust. I have really thought about bringing that with me since I have a little bit of time on my hands this time being here, but that was a whole lot to pack. So just the pattern itself is like a booklet. Because the part that I'm on is the big fairy part. And even if I would have just brought that with me, that section of the pattern alone is just so massive. And I was like, I don't want to do all that. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, the one that I just sent you. That's cool. It's a pretty blanket. It really is. I know I have this month for the Happy Mail Advent is a pattern. So I need to get that to Cheery because she's my Advent partner. But it's a mosaic pattern. So this month is a pattern, and then next month will be a kit. So I know that some of the patterns that I've been sent, I want to go through and look at a couple of those. But I don't want to start another mosaic until I finish the fairy dust because that'll motivate me to get it done. That way I can knock that off my list, but also, you know, have another mosaic project. And then hopefully I won't have too many big projects on the go anymore. Because I hate having such a long-standing WIP. But I know that there are people that have had things that have been sitting forever. and not being able to get them done or not wanting to go back to them or whatever. So do you guys have anything like that? Because I mean, right now, that's my longest standing one, and it's been a while since I touched it in recently this year, but like to think of being able to like get it done. I mean, I don't think I'll even get it done in 2026. Just because once I get back home, I'll be back to work pretty soon after, and then I'll have, I won't have the downtime that I do now. But because I won't have so many other big projects going on, that will be my only big project to like sit and focus on. So I can use a lot of my focus crochet time to work on that. Yeah. Yeah. I would say that, I mean, that is the outstanding whip that I have, because I have, that's the oldest one that I have, because I just started the cardigan this year. The Stag and the Serpent has been a while, but I started the fairy dust before that. And I only have chapter 10 and the border on the Stag and the Serpent left to do. So that should be, I mean, I'm hoping I can crank that out too. I did ask Sam. I told her when we were together, I was like, I did think about asking you to teach me how to knit, but I didn't want us to get into an argument while you were here, because she was like, I could try to show you, but I can't promise that you would learn from me. And I was like, well, I mean, I thought about it. But also, I don't know that I have the patience right now. I know I say that all the time, but I'll learn one day. Just not today. I had thought about doing more Tunisian once school starts, because there are a couple of Tunisian projects that I really want to do. So I've thought about cracking open some of my Tunisian pattern books and looking through those and making something there. Because I really do enjoy Tunisian. But there's yarn that I got when I was in the UK that I got with Sam, that blue and brown yarn. I think it's Cabin in the Woods and Jaggerty that I got. I want to make a top out of that. That was my plan. And I was thinking about a raglan top, but then I also was thinking maybe I could use that to make a Tunisian top. And I have some cotton yarn that I thought I could try to make a Tunisian top with and let that be like my trial, and then use that yarn to do the top with. But the cotton is like a DK, and then that yarn is fingering weight. So I'd have to find a pattern that would work for both kinds of yarn. We'll see. I have no idea. Yeah, I know there's all kinds of styles of knitting. But just like there is for crochet, you know, everybody does it differently. I just feel like if I tried to learn that now, one, I'd either feel like I couldn't do it because I'd be like, I don't have the time to concentrate on it. Or I put all my concentration into that and not get anything else done just so that I could be good at it. So I could go either way. I don't know. Oh, wow. We've already been here for over an hour. I didn't even realize. The last time I saw the timer, it was at like 37 minutes. And then I've just been sitting here chatting away. The place where I'm staying, the person next door, they have a whole bunch of bird feeders outside. So yesterday and today, I heard like a smack up against the window. So there's a window and then there's a door. I heard a smack and I went down and there was birds that were trying to come in there's no feeder right here, but they were trying to come in the like glass area. So I stepped outside to the porch and I could see they were chasing each other, like off of the feeders. Because, you know, some of the birds are more aggressive than others. I kind of felt bad for the little ones because they were getting chased off by the bigger ones for the food. But there's like 4 bird feeders out there and then a couple of bird baths. So what was that noise? I don't know what that noise was. Okay. It was interesting to see them out there, but I did feel bad for the little bitty ones because they were getting bullied by the bigger birds. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, like the cotton, because it would be a DK weight and it's more breathable, you know, being the cotton, it's a little bit more breathable. But I don't know. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay. Because the cotton is pretty breathable. But I don't know, we'll see. Because I don't want to take the fingering weight yarn and start something like I did with that cardigan and then have to end up taking it out multiple times. So I feel like if I made one with the DK weight, that would give me a good base, and then I would feel more confident using the thinner yarn, if that makes sense. Because I got so frustrated with that cardigan that I almost threw it in the trash can. It was my fault that I messed up, but because it was a really tiny yarn, it was taking forever. And I would have given up on it. So there are a couple of projects that I thought about doing in Tunisian, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I don't know. because I really do enjoy it. I enjoy the process. I really do. And I've never made a Tunisian top before. I've only ever made like flat items. I mean, I made bags, but even then you make the bag and then you like seam it together and stuff like that. So I'd like to try something maybe in the round. That's why I like the raglan style, because you don't make the panels and sew them together. You make it from the top down, and you add the sleeves, but you leave space for them, and then you come back and crochet them on. You don't make the sleeves separate and sew them on, because then that's a lot of seams. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I don't know how much bigger this thing is going to get. This is a little strip. That's okay. If it doesn't go very far, maybe I'll take it out and make like, I don't know if they use pacifiers, but you could make like pacifier straps with it too. I didn't think about that. I might take it apart and make little pacifier straps with it, because you can always loop the pacifier through it. Who knows? We'll see. But that'll be a decent amount of yarn used. And then, like I said, I'm going to get to work on that cardigan, because I only have a little bit left to do on the side and the bottom. And then I've got to go back and watch the video, because I watched the video all the way through just to kind of get the idea of the construction. And then I've got to go back and look at how she seamed it all together, so that I know what I need to do for especially the back part. Because the way that she did it is, she did the sides, and then when she went to do the back of it, like the bottom, she did that hole all the way across. And I just did one side, and then I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm just going to do it all the way up the back like that. Because she did like the back part, and then when she wanted to add length, she added the band all the way across, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be one whole side and one whole side. So I'm going to start from the very bottom and seam it up that way. That's the only thing that I'm doing that's different. And I think I made the sleeves a little bit too long, but I want to see how much it closes up once I join them to see if it gets shorter. Because I may just leave the sleeves like bell sleeves the way that they are, because I know that she added like a little cuff to hers. But I think if I tried to add the cuff, because the sleeves already come to like here, and I think if once I seam it up, they may come up just a little bit more, because that's gonna, once you actually put it together, and like cinch up the back and things like that, I think that'll bring it a little bit closer. But I don't have a lot of room to decrease and then make like a cuff. And I don't really like it when things hold on to my wrists. So even if I had a cardigan like that, I usually push it up to my elbows anyway. And I wouldn't want to make that tight on my arm and then push it up and stretch out the yarn. It would, I don't know, to me it would seem like a waste if I did it that way. So, I don't know, we'll see. I do have to go back and watch that part of the video though, because I'm not certain how it would tie itself all together. Hey, hold on just 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Oh my. Ugh. I think I made it worse. I hate it when it gets down to the end and then it gets all tangled up. Because then it's almost like you spend more time undoing it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have to go back and see how she did it. I feel like since I don't like it down that far anyway, I feel like it would be, I would stretch it out for no reason, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want it to be on my wrist anyway. So why spend the time making it that long if I know I'm not going to even wear it that way? I mean, yeah, I would use more yarn, but would it be worth it? I don't know. I just have to see what it's going to be like when it's all done. I mean, regardless, it's beautiful. I love the way that it's worked up. I'm glad that I took the opportunity to sit down and get it out of my head, you know, because like I said, once I saw that video, I was like, I have the perfect yarn for that. I know exactly what I want it to look like. And I struggled with how to make it work for a little bit because the Hobbii Universe is such a thinner yarn than the DK weight, but it's turned out really, really nice. And making sure that it's all even and whatnot has been a little bit of a challenge, but it's really, really pretty. And I think them being similar but different on the sides just makes it that much more interesting. So that once it's all put together, it'll be, I mean, and a lot of crochet things are truly one of a kind, you know, because nobody stitches the exact same way as somebody else. And that's the cool thing about crochet, right, is it's all made by hand. So nothing that I make is ever going to look like anything that you make, and nothing that you make is ever going to look like anything that anybody else makes, because our tension is different. Our stitches look different. We can all have the same pattern and everything comes out looking very different. But that was just something that was like, it called to me, like the yarn. I was like, this yarn needs to be for this project. And it happens that way sometimes, you know? And I was like, I have to find a way to make this work. And I did. And I'm super happy with it. So I think no matter how the sleeves finish, I just think that the whole thing is really, really gorgeous all by itself. So I'm okay with it being however the sleeves end up, because I'm going to wear it regardless, right? Because it's so pretty. I just know that I got to be super careful with it, because if anything happens to it, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be really mad. Red heart roll with it. Okay. Yeah, that would be cool. It is. I mean, and it really is a yarn eater. I mean, with those shell stitches, I mean, I think I'll go through all of that Hobbii universe by the time I'm done. Because I had part of it, I've gone through 4 already, and I only had 6. And I've started the 5th and 6th one, and I did 2, right, for one side. And then I started with 2 more to do this part and the bottom. And then I stopped with that and then used 2 more for the other side, because I knew that I was going to use 2. So that was 4 total. And then I still have the 2 that I'd started using, and I'm going to finish that up. And then when you add those rows like that, you have parts where the shells are missing. So you have to go back in and add those pieces once you're done. So I'll add those. And I think doing all of that, I'll end up using most, if not all 6 of those Hobbii cakes, which I think is pretty cool, you know? Because when I got that yarn, I originally was going to make, I got that, and then I got it in like the rainbowish colorway, because I was going to make matching tops for myself and my daughter. And then she was not interested in doing that. So, or not matching tops. I was going to make cardigans, matching cardigans. She was not interested. So we'll see. Maybe she'll see mine and she'll want one, because that's the cool thing about the Hexi Cardis, is you can make them depending on how big you make the hexagons. You can, you can make them to fit any size person. So that's pretty cool. Well, I finished it, but it's not very long. It's not very big. I don't know. I might take it out and, like I said, make straps with it. Because it didn't turn out to be what I wanted it to be. But that's okay. But I did finish it. I used all the yarn. So all three of them. I had the other one upstairs. But I finished 3 more skeins of yarn. So that's like another 700 yards of yarn. Because they're like, what, 200 and something yards a piece? What did I say before? 235? Yeah. Yeah, so that's like another 700 yards. Almost 5,000 yards of yarn in 1 month. That's a lot of yarn. That'll probably be, if I added up all of my totals for every month except for July, that would probably be less yarn for all of the other months. I mean, the year's not over, we'll see, but I just know because I've finished multiple balls of yarn and multiple projects that it's just ended up being a lot of yarn this month. But that's okay. I don't mind. So is there anything that you guys want to chat about, or any questions that you guys have? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. We have about 30 minutes left. Oh my goodness. So far this year? Yeah. That's wild. That's wild. I have not used that much. I have not used that much. I mean, I may be close to 10. Mainly because, like I said, I probably hit about 5,000 just this month, but I mean, there were some months that I haven't done a whole lot of anything. I mean, I've used yarn, but I haven't finished anything. And so I know the way that I do it is once I finish the skein, that's when I count it. So even if, like that pick and mix cowl, I was working on that for months, or it was 26 weeks of working on that, but the yarn usage didn't count until I finished the skein. So none of that yarn counted until July, when all 6 of those balls were used. But lots of good things came out of it, right? I made a whole nother blanket. I made another 2, a burp cloth and a washcloth. So, and those went to the Smile Club, and then this will go to Smile Club. So mostly all for other people. Oh, and I did put my pick and mix cow blanket on my blocking boards before I left. So it'll be sitting like that for a little while. We'll see what it looks like when I come back. But I was able to get it finished. So another project done. Yay, me. But yeah, any questions that you guys have, any thoughts, anything you guys want to talk about, let me know. I'm, like I said, next week I'm hoping there's a couple of yarn shops. Maybe I can do a live from one of those. Of course, I have to ask permission. I haven't asked anyone anything yet, but we'll see. And then I think after that one, I might have 1 or 2 more lives left this summer, and then I'm done. That's wild. I'd have to look at StreamYard, which I'm in StreamYard right now, so I can't look. But because I usually only do lives in the summer, I would like to do them once a month. And I say this every summer. Oh, I'd like to start doing them once a month, but then the month goes by and I'm just like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. Because it's just, the weekends are my downtime, and in the summer I have a lot of downtime. So while I enjoy spending time with you guys, there's so much to do on the weekends that it's hard to, it feels like I'm cramming it in, and I don't want to feel that pressure. So I just don't do it. I know that I should, but I just don't, because I'm so exhausted. And I know the first couple of weeks back, it always happens. I am just worn smooth out. So, but let me know what questions you have, what thoughts you have, things you might want to talk about. So I didn't really have topics this week. I just wanted to show you what I made and tell you I'm in a new place. Maybe talk about the liberal arts mail a little bit, which I did. So Oh, I do need to go see if I can find those grommets. I think they have them at Michael's. I saw. So maybe I will go to Michael's after. I don't know if I'll go today, but the beach bag that I want to make, it needs like the rope handles and the grommets. So there's a kit that you can get. I think it's at Michael's. That I'll go and see if I can find, because that would be good if I could get those. Then I could have it so that whenever I do start making the bag, because I figured it out and it would be 16 rounds per color of single crochet, except for when you get up into the somewhere in the 90s, I think it's 91, something like that, you start splitting for the grommets. And then you just go around and around and around. They have like 6 colors, so it'll be 6 stripes, but it's 16 because it's 96 rounds. So if I split that by 6, that's 16 rounds of single crochet per color. I don't have the tool for sure because I've never done them before. But I think because when I was reading that blog for the pattern, it said that it had everything all in one, but it didn't say at Michael's, but I looked it up and I think you can buy it at Michael's. I may have to order it. If they don't have it at Michael's, I may have to order it from there. Or if they don't have it online, maybe I could order it from Amazon. We'll see. That's another thing about being here is Amazon comes super fast. So if I can't find it at Michael's and I need to get it on Amazon, I can do that too. That's not a problem. Because I've never done those. I've never done a zipper. But we'll see. I don't imagine it's difficult. I just imagine it's something new I'll learn. Because I really do want to make that bag. It looks really cool. I think it'll be good. It'll be good. But if nobody else has any questions or anything, I may hop off a little early because we have like 20 minutes. And nobody's really popped in any questions or anything. So, I mean, I'm happy to stay on, but I don't have anything else specific that I need to talk about. So, unless there's something you guys want, I can hop off. I'll wait another couple of minutes and see if there's anything anybody else has. Anything you want to ask, anything you want to chat about, let me know. Let me see if I can find, I'll show you guys the bag that I want to make. So this is the bag. I'm not going to do the stripes like that. It's the Marina tote. It's a crochet beach bag. I'm not going to do the stripes. I'm just like that. I have stripes, but they're just going to be all even bands. But it says the grommets or eyelets should be 1/2 inch or 7/16 of an inch in size. And you can get the natural rope, the twisted cord in natural color or color you're choosing from Michaels. So, but she separates, and it's called Knit Paint Sew is the name of the website, the blog. But she does the separation of the rounds by color because she alternates between the cream color and the blue. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do, like I said, the 16 rounds of the single crochet. And then she shows you how to do the bottom of the bag for it to look like this, to make that like box bottom. She shows you how to do that. So that bottom color, I may hopefully I'll have enough. I may end up doing like 15 rounds or something, just so, because you're supposed to have enough to sew it all together. And I want to make sure I have enough of that color to sew it together, because that's the only skein of that I have. All of them, I only have one skein of each color. So we'll see how it goes, because I think it's supposed to be 200. You do 200, a chain of 200, and then link it together. But then you have to sew the bottom, like stitch it together, and then when you turn it inside out, you do something with the corners. I don't know, I have to read it, but that's it. Yeah. Okie dokie. I've waited a couple minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off for the week. I will be back next week. There are videos that are coming out, so I'll be around, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, and I'll see you guys soon. So until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella.